This is the jail outside Beijing where Miao Dushun has spent so much of his life. In March, he received an 11-month sentence reduction, which makes his release date October the 15th. Like the so-called tank man, who became a powerful symbol of the 1989 protests, we don't know what Miao Dushun looks like now.
In some ways, it's not too surprising that there aren't a lot of pictures and stories and, well-documented things of him. I mean, this was before the social media age.
Miao was a construction worker when he joined the student protests. One of their leaders was Wu Kai-shi. He now lives in exile in Taiwan with what he calls a survivor's guilt and says he'd be lost for words if he were ever to meet Miao.
To Miao Dushun, of course, I will be in awe. I probably will be speechless. And then the only sentiment I have toward him is nothing but respect. And then I think that's how the world should treat him too. And then also tap on his shoulder and hoping that he can adjust in his new freedom, new life better.
Chi Je-yong was there when the tanks rolled in on the night of June the 3rd, losing a leg after he was shot by a soldier. He spends most days confined to his small Beijing apartment. He doesn't know Miao and worries about his mental state.
He doesn't know anything about the world outside. I think his mind is probably not very clear, and I suspect he has had a very depressing life.
Chi says he has no regrets about what happened to him in 1989.
Of course I would do it again. If I had that time again, I'm ready anytime. I have no regrets.
We spoke to one former inmate who knew Miao Dushun back in the 1990s. He describes him as a stubborn prisoner who was put into solitary confinement many times. He now reportedly suffers from hepatitis B as well as schizophrenia. And his ordeal is unlikely to end with his release.
For many high-profile political prisoners, that once they leave the criminal justice process, they're still subjected to surveillance, harassment.
The Beijing Miao last saw looks very different today. 27 years ago, there were many more bicycles than cars, and skies were generally clear. China hadn't yet hosted an Olympics or become the world's second largest economy. None of which would have been possible, say today's leaders, if the 1989 protests had succeeded. Adrian Brown, Al Jazeera, Beijing.